Salam.
Peace, Imran.
Asad Bhai.
been
Uh,
been a long time since I last saw you. About what, 5 seconds, maybe 10. It's been 10 seconds. So what are we gonna tell these people who are not gonna listen today?
by the way, the last show was power packed. So,
The one on Friday. Yeah, I lost it a bit emotionally because I can't listen to this stuff and be not emotional. These people lie through their teeth with such smugness and such unbelievable amount of uh, lies that they think are truth with absoluteness. I mean, the smugness on their faces makes you believe they actually think it's the truth, yeah? And they pretend to know the Quran and what it says. That's why none of them actually ever approach me because they know in their hearts they don't know anything about the Quran and they pretend to know. And thus, when they come to me, they're going to be smashed to smithereens within seconds or minutes, yeah? And so no one comes to me. And that applies to most of you as well, yeah?
yeah, I mean, every time we come to you without the truth, we're wiped out, leveled, destroyed.
Just like the earth leveled, soon to be destroyed.
Mhm. Okay. So, growing up in Pakistan, uh, as a so called Muslim, we were never told about piety. Maybe here and there a little bit, taqwa, which is taqwa in the Quran. And
Yeah.
you were the first one to clarify and explain what exactly is piety. And at the same time, there were so many mis words in the Quran which were mistranslated and were actually wrong. Like the example that you brought about in the last show about Alameen, which does not means the heavens and the worlds, like they say, which means the knowing.
Mm.
So this is what I wanted to ask you about piety, and I think about 8 or 9 mistranslated words that I will bring about. But we can start off with piety. If you can explain to us what is piety in the Quran.
I mean, the word piety has several meanings. I mean, and let's go through that. I mean, I'll bring it up here. I won't show it to you, but let's just go through a dictionary
Hmm.
and see what the word piety actually means as per their satanic dictionaries. Yeah.
Hmm. You don't want to show it?
Oh, okay, I can show it. I can bring it
Yeah.
up. Let me bring it up. So, this is the definition of piety in the Merriam Webster. The quality of state of being pious. Wow. Yeah. That's really self explanatory. Yeah.
Hmm.
Fidelity to natural obligations as to parents, dutifulness in religion, devoutness, an act inspired by piety and a conventional belief or standard. So, this is nonsense if you look at it. Yeah.
Hmm.
If you look at it, fidelity to natural obligations, what are natural obligations? Who defines them?
Hmm.
Yeah. Dutifulness in so any religion, you're pious if you follow any religions.
Hmm.
Devoutness is a good synonym to piety, by the way. An act inspired by piety. Okay. So let's go to pious, where it comes from. Yeah. The word pious.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's see what the word pious means again. Tell me if you can't see it, right?
Oh, I see it.
Marked by or showing reverence for deity and devotion to divine worship. Now, the word worship is nonsense. Reverence is certainly piety, and reverence is fundamentally fear. Yeah,
Hmm.
reverence comes from fear. Sacred or devotional is distinct from the profane or I mean, this is all like word salad, yeah, to make you not understand what it actually means.
And there's nowhere here about anything about God.
Yeah. And then look at the yeah, but deity is there. The first one is deity means God, by the way. So it is reference for deity. Deity means God, yeah.
Okay.
So showing loyal reverence for a person or thing, yeah,
Hmm.
pious. So there's marked by sham or hypocrisy. This is the other meaning. Marked by self-conscious virtue. So virtue singular. Oh, you're so holier than thou. So use this pious word as opposite of its actual meaning. Yeah. So this is why dictionaries are, I call them satanic, because in a lot of cases they will take you away from what the actual word means. Now let's go to what the Quran says about piety. Yeah, let me bring this up. Uh, let me bring up the Quran here and let's search. Let's search piety, yeah, first in the Quran, which I've translated piety. It's in 16 places, yeah. And the word piety is in Arabic taqwa. Yeah, you see this word here. If I
Mm.
highlight it, can you see the highlighting?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see the highlighting. That's
Yeah.
cool. Oh, fantastic. That'll work better. So, taqwa is piety. At taqwa, the piety, yeah. And what tattaqun or taqil is to fear in Arabic. Wattaquni, ya ulil albab. This is what God is saying, and fear me. And wow, how beautiful is this? The first one I find has both the meaning and where it comes from, the derivation. It's both together. It's a circular
Beautiful.
word. Yeah. Piety, fear, fear, piety. Piety will bring fear, fear will bring piety. Because when you're pious, you're devout to anybody, anything, anybody or anything. When you are that thing or that entity, it will bring you fear. Why? Because you don't want to offend that entity or that thing. Today, most of them don't want to offend their money, yeah? So they're fearful of their money. It's a joke, but it's reality. Would you not agree?
Mm-hmm.
How people act in this world. So there you go. So taqwa, piety. Piety is a state of devoutness or reverence, yeah, to anybody or anything. And fear comes from piety. So another place you will find it. Taqwa, same, lit taqwa. Piety. So that's what piety is. Now, I mean, I can go through all of them. Let's not. And we've found the fundamental meaning, yeah? Yeah. So
Mm.
now let's look at the meaning fear in the Quran. Here it's tattaqun. Yeah. Maybe
Mm.
you fear. So taqun is fear, ta is pointing to you. So taqi is to fear, taq. Yeah. So that's fear. The word is derived from piety. Is it clear? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
these are the words right in front of you, yeah.
Yeah.
So fattaqun nar. But be pious to the fire? No, but fear the fire.
Mm.
Look at this. فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وُقُودَهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. So the fuel of her will be the fire, will be the stones and mankind. The mankind and the stones will be fuel to that fire. You know, that's where all our oil is coming from, like I said before. Yeah. It's burning under our feet. The furnace is burning, the oil is being created, like an offshoot from here. So again, let's go to another place where fear is written. And here's another word for fear, khawf.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
khawf is fear as well. So there's another synonym in the book for fear. So if you just take, let's just take this word. Uh, let's take this word, just this word, taqa. Yeah, these two letters actually, not even a word.
Mm.
Let's take this word and let's search for it. Taqa is written 509 times.
Whoa, man.
Comes in mustaqim. So I want to find where it's.
Fattakun nar.
Let's see, but that will have to be with fa as well. Yeah, so it's not always but or so fear the fire. You want to, or just let's see, just the taqa, you, where it's telling you to fear. Yeah, let's find this one. Let's see how this one works. So here, tattaqun, tattaqun. So this 22 times it's written, you fear. Yeah, maybe you fear, maybe
Mm.
you fear, maybe you fear. All of them, maybe. His is like God always says maybe because he knows probably you're not going to fear. Yeah. It's the spirit telling you, by the way. Fight, fear, another fear, tattaqun. Afala tattaqun, will but not you fear. So this word is fear everywhere that you look. Taqa, yeah. Will not you fear? Afala tattaqoon. Yeah.
Mm.
This is the other one which is in chapter. Let's see if this comes up here. I'm sure this is not going to come up here. Yes, this will not come up here. So it's in chapter 765. Yeah. Let's go to 765. All right. So this is odd coming to the odd people, their brotherhood. Huh? This is like a tongue in cheek, right? Their brotherhood. He was their brother, but he wasn't any friend to them. Yeah.
Mm.
Hood to
Mm.
the odd people. Just like Noah was their brother, just like I am brother to all of you on the earth. I ain't no friend to you. So this is a misconception that everybody thinks that since you're a brother, you're a friend. Yeah. That should go away the first time you read the chapter of Joseph. Yeah. So
Mm.
he comes and he says, "O my people, serve the God, not to you from God other than him will, but not you fear." Huh? Fundamentally, every messenger comes and tells you, why aren't you fearing God? Why don't you fear? Why don't you understand there's no God? Why don't you fear him? So it comes from the word taqi, which is to fear, tattaqun. You fearing. Why aren't you fearing? Will but not you fear. Every one of them says the same thing. Every messenger will come and ask you, why don't you fear? And the best place this is written, I've said it at other points in my other dissertations to mankind. When these messengers come in chapter 26, the poets, yeah,
Mm.
and when to them Noah. So when comes to them Noah, what does he say? The first thing he says to his people, their brother Noah, falsified no people of Noah, the messengers. You also have to understand that the how when people say Noah was the first prophet or messenger, then why are they saying messengers falsified the
Mm.
messengers here? Have you ever thought that?
No, I just you just pointed out.
Yeah. So falsified people of Noah, the messenger. So because once you falsify one messenger, you falsify every messenger before him. That's why. And this also tells you Noah was not the first messenger
Mm.
or prophet. Yeah.
Mm.
So people say he was the first prophet. Nonsense. It's just destroyed right here. Yeah. And how can they, when Noah's the only one who came to them, why, how they're falsifying the messengers?
Mm.
Right? It's not just Noah, it's all the messengers before him and all the angels and the spirit above us. Yeah. And he tells them, the first thing he says, will not you fear? Allah tattaqoon. Yeah.
Mm.
So, and then he announces, I to you a messenger secure. You know, the word Amin, I don't know what they translate it as. Let me find out actually, since I have all these nonsensical translations here on my website as well. Let's see what they, let's see what they, yeah. Where is it? Will not you fear? Secure. Trust, yeah.
Mhm.
Trustworthy, faithful, faithful, trusted, trust, secure. You know,
Mm.
I'm secure from God.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. All
Mm.
right. This is what it actually means. I am trustworthy, obviously, but you will never give me your trust. So it doesn't matter. Whether I say it or not is not going to help you in trusting me because you're not going to trust me. Yeah. So again, every one of them, they go to the next one, and he repeats it not once in his statement. In these statements, this chapter 26, you will see every messenger come and say exactly the same sequence, with a little difference into what he's warning them about, what they're doing. Yeah, in
Mm.
chapter 26, and it's all fear the God and obey me. And they say, oh, and obey. It doesn't say obey me. Yeah. you can just say and obey. But who are you going to obey, God or the messenger here?
Mhm.
The messenger is telling you to obey, so obviously you're obeying him. And
Mm,
by obeying him, you're obeying God, because God is the one who sent him and secured him and sent him with a message to send you, to
mm,
give to you. God doesn't come down here and deliver the message to every man. He chooses one man to deliver the message to everyone. It is the way of God, immemorial, unchanging, cannot be stopped, will never be pushed back. It will happen every time till the end of this creation we're in, right?
mm,
So fear the God and obey me. But I say obey me because there's the zir, this thing, this below this, there's this dash, yeah. That
mm.
points to me as well. Like it can be me, or it can be and obey directly. It can be both. I put obey me because who do you think Noah wants them to obey?
Oh,
Their leaders or him?
him.
Obviously. So there you go. And then he continues, yeah. And then he tells them all this stuff and then says, so fear the God and obey again. Again, he says in the whole segment. And then the whole goes on until they're destroyed, yeah, in this segment. And then come to him. Oh, we forgot about Hud and Saleh here, yeah. I'm sure they're mentioned as well. No, they're not. Ah, Saleh here, yeah. Saleh says the same thing.
Mm,
Will not you fear? Will not you fear? Hud says the same thing before him, which we already saw in chapter 7, yeah.
mm,
This one is Hud, yeah, Hud, and before that was Noah. Then comes Shoaib, Lot, and Shoaib. They all say exactly the same thing. So fear the God and obey me,
mm,
or so fear the God and obey. You know, oh, you can't say obey me here. Yeah, it's obey. Yeah, obey who then? Is he saying yourselves?
mhm,
I mean, what is he trying to say when he comes? Obviously, obey him.
mm.
That's what God sends the messenger as, someone to be obeyed by all his people.
Yeah, the mankind would want to take that one out because they don't want to obey the messengers.
Of course. And of course, now they've destroyed the fact that they can be a messenger at all.
Mm,
So it's very easy when I come and tell you that I am the messenger of God. They just laugh at me and say, oh, there are no more messengers coming. As if God has told them in this book that there are no more messengers coming. Just like they've made Jesus as the last guy who's going to come, and he's going to come to save them again,
mm,
his second coming. And all prophets, and he's supposed to have said that prophets will come in my name, false prophets. That guy who said may will make wonders and stuff in the gospels, sure.
mm,
So then any prophet that comes other than Jesus, after Jesus, will be false for them.
mm,
It's simple. the
mm.
the plan of Satan is very simple. He makes you fall for a simple lie which has unimaginable consequences, but he just needs you to fall for that one lie, and then you're lost, because you disregard anything that is said against that one lie, like the case of the so-called Muslims. Muhammad is the last and final messenger and prophet, and I'm sure that's written in the Quran somewhere as well, right?
Nope.
Exactly. Not at all. Actually, it's written every people they will be a messenger. To all people, a messenger. When comes to them, their messenger. Decision between them with the justice. And they not they wronged. Yeah. But don't worry, they'll all be wronged, yeah, because they've wronged. That's a conundrum, yeah. Just because you're wronged, that doesn't mean you're wronged, because you brought it upon yourself. And that's what these people are bringing upon themselves. So, this is where the fundamental understanding of piety and fear is written in the Quran. And the piety is defined in the Quran. Yeah. It's not something that is left to someone's imagination to understand what piety is. It's clearly defined, the piety, those who are pious. Yeah. uh, I know you've read it many times, yeah,
Mhm.
those who are pious, and you've applied it completely to yourself, I'm sure, as well, yeah.
Oh, I've been failing and could not do it. But what I was reading yesterday is that only the pious can enter the garden, and there's no other way.
No, not only the pious will enter the garden.
Okay.
I mean, the Muslims will enter the garden as well. You don't have to be pious To reach to a level of being pious is a high level of faith. They are the only ones who are going to be friends to each other that day. They are the highest. The pious are of the highest of the believers, the close ones of God, the muqarrabeen. Yeah. So don't say that they're going to be the only ones entering God and then there'll be very few there. Yeah. As it is, there's going to be few.
My
but
mistake.
but if it's only the pious they're supposed to, then most of the believers are going to go to hell. Yeah. I'm talking about the believers who are as it is in minority in the world, in this creation. The believers are a minuscule minority, not a significant minority, a minuscule minority. And that is clearly proven when you read the book. Yeah. So let me just give one definition of those that are pious. Yeah. I'll bring this one up. It's in chapter 2. All right. Let me bring this on here. Is this the one? I think this is it. All right. Can you see it? This is the sign in chapter 2, sign number 177. Yeah. Ah, it's coded for 77. Interesting. Anyway, so it says, not the benevolence that you turn your faces direction of the setting and the rising, and but surely the benevolent, one who believes with the God and the day the later, and the angels, and the book, and the prophets, and brings the wealth over his love with the close ones, and the orphans, and the poor, and on the path, and the askers, and in the captivity, and makes constant the prayer, and brings the purity, and the completers with their promises when they promise, and the patient in the wars and the bad times, and during the war, those they truthful, and those they the pious. This is a comprehensive definition. How much of this are you capable of? Can you tell me?
Zero.
No, that's just self-immolation, not required, and a lie right there. You are capable a little of this, obviously. You've done a little of this. You have. You're certainly not patient. You don't complete your promises. You have no ability to be patient in any bad times or war that I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
And then you believe apparently with God, and the day the later, how much I don't know. Yeah. But you're trying, at least these things you're trying. And look at how it is. The sequence is the same as the faith at the end of chapter 2. It's God. The day the later is brought up to higher standing here because it is the absolute thing you must believe. It is an independent faith to that of God. The day the later is when you're going to be resurrected in the last life that we will live after our resurrection, yeah, whether in the fire or in the garden. And then the angels and the book. This book is the mother of the book, is mentioned here. I see this as the mother of the book, yeah, which is the book that contains all books, including the Quran, which we are reading, yeah, and the prophets, which are all the ones that brought the news. And they bring their wealth over his love to the close ones, not because they want to be loved, but because they love God. They bring their wealth to the close ones, the ones that are close, and the orphans and the poor. Can you imagine doing all this, having faith? These people pretend to do this to gain more wealth in this world. Most of those who don't believe with God and the hereafter, which is the day the later, they do it to get accolades in this world and to be seen in this world without believing. And there are many who do this. Yeah. They spend their wealth to be seen
Mm.
in the world, and they don't believe actually there's a hereafter or God or anything else. Yeah. They just do this stuff. So what about those people? They've done good. How can God be unjust? Oh, he's not, absolutely not unjust. Their rewards will be paid in this world. They'll have nothing in the hereafter. That's why they get richer and richer doing this here, because God doesn't want them to have any excuse that day and any portion that day except the fire. Those who don't believe that he exists, rejects him, reject the hereafter, his angels, the books, the prophets, the messengers. Yeah. He wants them to have everything here, and they will have absolutely no excuse that day that we weren't paid back for the good that we did. They will be absolutely paid back for the good that they did. In spades, they will be paid back. And there they will be put in the fire. Yeah. This is the reality of God. Call him what you want. That's the real God we're talking about. You can call him all sorts of names because he's going to do this to people. Then you will suffer in the end by calling him all sorts of names because he's going to do this to people. Now look at this covenant, which aligns with that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Covenants the messenger with what's sent down to him from his Lord, which is the Quran. In this is if you're reading this Quran, obviously that's what's being sent down to the messenger. Yeah. And the believers, they all believe in covenant with this book. Because without covenant with this Quran, you will believe nothing of any real consequence in the bigger picture. You might believe some good stuff, but you will not get to the actual level you need to get to be safe in the hereafter. So each covenants with the God and his angels and his books and his messengers. Not we separate between anyone from his messengers. And they say, we listen and we obey. Surely you forgive us, our Lord, and to you the end. So, when you look at this stuff here and you focus on what's going on, this is the covenant which will drag you to the side of God if you hold on to it. And this will never be broken. And if you see this word that they translate as distinguish, the word here, I'll highlight this, you know, la nufarriqu baina ahadim mir rusuli. Yeah. And they translate this word. Let me bring up the morons that translate it. Yeah. Why leave it to chance? Yeah.
Yeah, this
Let's
is perfect.
let's show them. Yeah.
Yeah.
We make no distinguish. Yeah. And this is not a quote, fools. This is the spirit telling you. This is not a quote. The spirit is telling you. That's why not we make decision from any one of his messages. It can't be God saying it. So they put it in quotes.
Hmm.
Nonsense. It is the spirit saying all of this here, yeah, except at the end. And they say, then he says, the spirit says, and they who covenant this, we listen and we obey. Surely you forgive us, our Lord, and to you the end. Yeah. These guys are not distinction, yeah, no difference. Okay, they're exactly the same. When you photocopy a picture of Jesus and then you photocopy a picture of Abraham, it's going to be exactly the same. Yeah, there'll be no difference in it, right?
Hmm.
In his apostles, distinction, and let's see what is discriminate.
Hmm.
That this guy is really on some pot here. Yeah, discriminate. What the hell are you talking about? Discriminate.
Because he's discriminated against all the messengers of God, right?
Exactly. What a bunch of morons. Let's take these idiots out. So if they say what they say is true, then if you're not distinguishing, making distinction, yeah, then why are you putting Muhammad on top of all of them?
Hmm. He's their God.
I mean, like, I'm just saying they're lying, right?
Hmm.
If their statement is true in translating this, as they say, correct,
Yeah.
then how is this word distinction correct when they had distinguishing Muhammad from the rest of the messengers? It's a lie, right? We
Hmm.
don't separate between anyone for them. We do not separate the messengers. It's not about distinction because every messenger is distinguished from every other messenger. I mean, we're not all the same. I'm not the same as Muhammad. I'm not the same as Jesus in all sense. The only way you are not distinguished is with the message you send that we come with, not who we are. We all have different characters. We all have different colors. We are short, tall, fat, thin, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's the way it is. So this is where piety starts. The submission to God, this faith, and the pious define. And then you look in the book what it tells you to do, and it's much more difficult. It ain't that easy. First, you got to master that. What I said in this sign number 177. Master that first. How much are you believing with God? How much with the hereafter? How much are you doubting? How much with the angels? How much with the book? How much with the prophets? How much are you spending in the path of God? They say, how would we know how much to spend? Ask yourself. You'll know. Ask yourself. You will know how much to spend, and you know who to spend on. The first thing God says is on your parents, on your two parents, spend. Yeah. Of
Mm,
course, God's path is higher than that. But
mm,
they ask you what to spend on, right? As hey, what do we spend all our money on? Yeah. First of all, go fight with your wealth and struggle with your wealth in the path of God and your souls as well. Struggle with both those things. Yeah. And then you still got wealth left over. Oh, spend on your parents, right? I mean, so obviously you don't want to spend all your wealth on fighting in the path of God unless the end is here and is the command. You spend what you can. You don't become a pauper like these morons, the so-called Christian clergy. Yeah, they will declare a oath of poverty. Have you heard about this?
no.
They actually have to declare an oath of poverty, the priests, that they're not earning money, and they're all earning money. Their living is
They're millionaires.
they suck off of the teat of the people who come to their parishes and their church and their temples and whatever else they created, and they ask money for them. But we have declared poverty. We're not going to profit from this, right? The word profit and prophet, yeah, are so close to each other for a reason,
Hmm,
because these buggers are profiting. They're not prophets. They're not prophesizing, they're profiting,
hmm,
pretending to be prophets. So this is what the reality of and they don't fear. God has clearly said, not a soul will get away with making any sort of sum, big or small, or a sum small, by selling his signs. Nobody's going to profit from it in the hereafter. They will all go to the hellfire. Now you apply it to the people I was talking about on Friday and others, all the rabbis, the Buddhist monks, the gurus, and the imams, and the scholars of Islam, and the mullahs, and the sheikhs, and all these other nonsensical garbage mongers, nonsense mongers. They make money, they make a living off of it. I mean, if you can give me an example in the books of God, any one of them, Torah or the Injil, Bible, or the Quran, where a messenger makes a living off of delivering God's messages. If you can bring that example to me, then I will reconsider what I just said. I'm just BSing. There's no way that you can be an example of that. And there's no messenger or prophet that comes and charges you for counseling him in the way of God, or the signs of God, or the faith that he's delivering, or the mess. No way. It's not going to happen. It cannot happen by a messenger or a prophet. Yeah, he may make mistakes. He may make mistakes. Like in the case of Muhammad, for example, he got slapped on the wrist when they took refugees before the war was over, before he had subdued the earth. Muhammad and his people with him took refugees, forbidden, and they took from them their wealth or whatever. They took a ransom to take care of them as refugees. And the Spirit came and slapped him on the wrist. And he said that if it wasn't a word written sent forth from your Lord to be touching you, punishment grievous in what you took. But he said, allowed right now, allowed to you right now. Good. Enjoy it. But don't do this again. I mean, he didn't say that, but obviously this whole segment is telling him, don't do this. And it's for us to know as well that if we are under duress and we are fighting a war, at the time of a war where we are still struggling to maintain or get control of the land that God has sent the messenger and the prophet to take control of, you don't start taking refugees until you subdue the land and you mark it off and you make your fortifications, and then you want to come as refugees. Okay, we'll we'll take you as refugees, but you'll have to do this and this for us here if you come within our land. Yeah, there's no tax in the way of God, right? The tax is on those who don't believe and they want to be in your land as believers. Tax. There's no tax, it's a payment. Yeah.
hmm.
So if a believing nation exists, it doesn't today, by the way. Secret. Yeah. So just to let you know, it doesn't exist today. I kid you not. Huh?
It's in your heart,
No,
believing
it
nation.
doesn't matter if it's in my heart. It doesn't exist on earth today. Yeah. So it doesn't exist. If it existed, for example, if the nation existed and a non-believing entity or group of people want to come stay in that land which belongs to the believers, yeah, then they would have to pay a rental fee, yeah, to stay in that land if they want to stay there. If we control it and
Hmm.
you want to stay, we will not want to push anybody back, but you will have to pay. That's called the jizya
Yeah,
chapter 9 in the Quran, right? And they make so much fun about it. Man, if you have people coming from outside your land, you're just going to come let him in willy nilly. You charge people to just enter your land.
that's
Oh,
what.
you got to get a visa. You got to pay $500 for this. You got to come here and you got to pay entry fee. You got to, like, nonsense. Yeah. What the believers will do is, okay, you can go live on that land over there. It belongs to us, but you can take care of it. But you will have to do this for us as payment for that. Dig 5 trenches, make 2 bushels of rice, and grow wheat for us, or whatever thing that the believers want them to do to maintain themselves and to pay for the ability or the privilege, if you want to call it privilege, to live amongst the believers. Yeah. So that's how that works. Yeah, the payment. But the messenger will never ask. I mean, the messenger fears making any kind of nonsensical statement. He fears making any kind of a judgment that is going to go against him, because he's told, don't judge with your thoughts. So he cannot judge with his thoughts. He has to judge with reality, the truth. And the biggest truth is the book of God, which he has. Today it's the Quran, which I have completely. I have complete authority to judge with the Quran over all of mankind today. I am the judge over mankind today. I don't need them to accept it. God is the one who sent me as a judge over you. You have to accept it. There's no judge on earth that can sign a warrant which holds any water in front of God. And no man on the earth who doesn't know the Quran or is of the rejectors has any self-sufficiency over me whatsoever from God. They can't do a damn thing except what God allows them to do. And He's allowed them to do very little so far, yeah. It may change. I mean, the day is going to come, as it does for all messengers, when it comes to a head. And when that happens, God will decide what to do. In this case, in my case, He has decided what to do in every case. Like in the case of Jesus, He took him up. He lifted him up and raised him to Himself when they plotted to kill him. And they made a story of His crucifixion and that they killed him. Yeah, keep dreaming. Keep your dreams going. Keep your fantasies alive with the cross and that Jesus died on the cross for your sins or that He was killed in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. He was taken away by God and lifted up to Himself. Fear that. Fear that you're making lies over God, all these Christians. And the Muslims say, some of the Muslims, I don't know, all of the so called Muslims. Man, by the way, disclaimer, whenever I say Muslims to refer to these Muslims, it means they're not Muslims, okay?
Mhm.
It's just a dichotomy that I have to deal with in my life here, which God has put in front of us, that we have to deal with it. That these so-called Muslims are not Muslims, but to refer to them, you have to call them what they call themselves, which they're not. What kind of joke is that? Huh? That's a pretty amazing joke, yeah, for us to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So, so these so-called Muslims, they say that some other person was put in Jesus' stead and he was crucified,
Mm.
as if they have any knowledge of this. I mean, is there any knowledge of this reference to this in the Quran that tells us that another entity who looked like Jesus was put in his spot
No.
in his stead and he was somehow crucified? Doesn't exist. It's nonsense. And they follow this nonsense because they have to. You have to understand they have to follow their nonsense because without following their nonsense, they can't justify the nonsense they're doing. Yeah.
And the fact that there's no fear. It's always that God is loving, all forgiving, and forget about fear. Why do you fear Him? Why are you? That's what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
That why do you make your God fearful when He's all loving and all that?
Now, why do you make others fear the God?
Why? Yeah, you
Yeah.
make you you talk
Make
about God.
others fear God. You may why do you fear God? There's no fear of God. Yeah, that's what they say. There should be no fear.
Yeah,
Yeah. So then if there is no fear, there can be no piety.
yeah.
Because these two words and these two emotions are intertwined. You cannot be separated. Try it. Try it. So if you did not fear the policeman, would you not go under the speed limit? Would you go at 1,000 miles an hour if you didn't fear him? Of course you would.
Mm,
You wouldn't go at the under the speed limit if you didn't fear him. You fear him, that's why you go under the speed limit. Although most people go about 10, 20 kilometers above or miles above the speed limit. Yeah.
mm,
That's their leeway. Yeah. That's the leeway they've given us. Yeah. They know these people are crazy. So, up to 10 kilometers or 10, 5 miles, yeah, we won't do anything. And there are other states which will screw you for 2 miles over the speed limit as well.
mm.
These people are so, but the people fear them. That's why, I mean, if no, there was no speed limits and there was no repercussion of you breaking the speed limit, would you then go under the speed limit?
I mean, absolutely not, man.
There
And
you
you,
go. So now, if there the signs are there, oh, go at 10 kilometers here and go at 100 kilometers here. But if you don't, there's going to be nobody's going to say anything. Oh well, I'm not going to get 100. I'm going to get 200. Yeah. So this is the example of what the fear of God and the piety is. Now you can be pious just because you want to be pious. Yeah. But it still comes from the act of reverence or fear. If you're pious to something, whether you fear it or not, yeah, it comes from
mm,
revering that
mm,
or not wanting to hurt that entity,
mm,
whoever that entity is, whatever that entity is. Yeah.
mm.
So this is how it's all about. Yeah. Fear and
Beautiful.
piety. I think that should end it. I think that's been more
Yeah,
than enough on fear
it's
and piety.
beautiful. But what I wanted to ask you is that before you turn to God and become, before you turn to God and God chose you as a messenger, did you have this piety?
Yeah, I was a pious person before, because, and on whatever I knew, I was a loyal, sincere person in my life in general. I would not screw people over for no reason. Yeah. And that's the way I've all most of my life I've been that. And I at up until 10, or what is it? No, up until 12 years old or something around that time, I thought everybody was good. I'm not kidding. I was like 12 years old when I realized, hey, people are actually out to get you here in this world. Everybody is not doing things because of the goodness of their hearts. So then my heart darkened to this, and I also did stuff to avenge myself after that. Seeing people are nasty for no reason except they don't like me. Yeah. I mean, it's not like because I say something that you have the authority to do anything against me. It's because I do something to you that you have the authority to do something against me.
Hmm,
These morons out there, you say anything to them they don't like and they want to come kill you or take you away or shut you down.
hmm,
No entity in this world has any authority whatsoever to shut down anyone or do anything for anything that even saying, I'm going to kill you. Yeah? Did he kill you? No. Then shut up, go away. Yeah, how many times have you said to people, I'm going to kill you for no reason because you're mad? Hundreds of times, everybody says it in their lives. So if anybody says anything to anyone, even if you falsify someone, like they say, have this defamation, yeah, the defamation lawsuits,
hmm,
too bad. If he's done it facetiously, the person has facetiously and maliciously defamed you, yeah, he will bear the brunt of that. The karma will come back to him. But you cannot do anything to that person. You can just tell him, hey, you SOB, I didn't do that. You're accusing me falsely. Bring your proof. There's no court of law. You take this and sue people. This is nonsense. This is their system. Total garbage. This is how they run their system. Absolute garbage. No entity on this earth has any authority over any other entity to do anything to them, act on them. If they say anything, no matter how egregious of a lie it may be, you have no authority. You can say against it, absolutely, just like he's saying. You can call him out just like he's saying whatever he's saying that you don't like. You have no authority to say so. When they say, if you reject this or you say this against Muhammad or Jesus or whoever else or God, we're going to string you up and hang you. Well, then you might just have absolved him of all his crimes and
Hmm.
taken all his crimes upon yourselves who are party to harming that entity, whoever that entity is. Does not matter. Even if he's a rejecter, all his crimes you will absolve him from. He may still go to hell because he's a rejecter, but he will not be responsible for his crimes after that. You will take his crimes. Yeah, you do anything against me, I mean, it's not even doing things. You hurt me,
I'm gone.
you will be taken to charge by God. The punishment is going to be severe in this world, and in the hereafter, you're going to go to hell. Why, it's not fair, really? I told you last week. You're 8 billion and I'm 1. How is that fair? I'm 1, you're 8 billion. How is that supposed to be fair? So the balance is absolute. Because all 8 billion of you are going to reject me for the truth, then you're all going to the fire forever because of that. And if you try and harm me or you try and kill me, yeah, then it's going to be worse for you and great for me, greater for me. Because you're going to kill me, like in Star Wars, yeah. You remember the Star Wars movie?
Hmm.
You strike me down, I will be more powerful than you can ever imagine. Comes
Mm.
from the truth, but not his truth, the
Mm.
truth of God. I am a believer and more so a messenger. You kill me, I will not be dead in the hereafter. I will only die here. I will not be dead. And what powers and authority God gives me in the hereafter, you don't have a clue about. You cannot imagine. You can't judge that. Neither can I because I haven't died yet and no one's killed me. So I don't know. But what I do know is if
Hmm.
you kill me, I will die, but I will not be dead. I'll be alive in the hereafter. I mean, it also goes to the fact that people who die as rejectors is also alive in the hereafter. You know
Right.
exactly where they are, burning in the fire.
Mm.
So it's not like they're dead as well. I mean,
Mm.
it's like the dead are actually alive, just you can't
Amazing, man.
see them.
When you first said that, it was such a mind blowing thing that, hang on a second, they're not dead. They're burning in the fire of hell, you fool. And the ones who've gone to the garden, they're alive there. God is
Yeah,
killing.
whatever God wants to do with them, right? I mean, some might be off. Like when you're asleep, you're off, right?
Yeah.
Your body could be taken away, and you would never know if you didn't weren't brought back to your body
Mm.
in the night when you sleep, and you're never brought back to that body till you are brought out in the hereafter. Uh, how would you know you're dead or alive? You're off. When you're asleep, you're off, literally off. Yeah. So that can also be possible when you die. You're in limbo. Yeah, in limbo land. So anyway, I think we should go in a couple of the
Okay, last
words.
question about this, then I'll
Yeah.
move. Do you think one of the most important knowledge would be to know how to be pious, and the wisdom would be is to how to become pious?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of the. It's not just. I
Okay.
mean, the striving should be that you should become pious the way the book wants it to be. We are all pious in our own ways when we grow up. Yeah. Most of us aren't. They're all wicked rejectors. They're scheming and conniving, hypocritical people. Most of us are like that in life. Yeah. But some of us are pious to whatever we adhere to. It's not like the pious word applies to only those who are believers. It applies to the followers of Satan as well. They're pious to him. Their
Mm.
piety is according to what Satan wants them to do.
Mm.
So it's like a double edged sword. Yeah. Every word has meaning, but the context of the meaning of that word defines what's all about, right? So if I'm pious in the context of God, I'm an enemy to Satan.
Mm.
I'm his sworn enemy. I will hound him till death. I will find him and crush him. He's an enemy, clear. And all the other Satans who follow him. And those guys will be pious to Satan and the rejectors, and they will hound me. It's the same thing.
It's a
So,
war.
who are you pious to? And
Mm.
what are you pious to? That defines what you become in the end. So when you said I was pious because I wanted to be good, but I didn't know what good was. I tried to be good, but I didn't know what good was early
Mm.
on in life. And I did many errors based on that nonsensical knowledge that I had, which was obviously not the piety God wanted. And the piety of God doesn't mean that you're nice and coddling to everyone, that you're um nice in a way to make people feel good no matter what, which is what we've been taught.
Mm,
Yeah. Be polite to people. Muhammad was, even to the rejectors, he was the most merciful. Even the woman, for example. Yeah. The story of the woman that used to put, suppose there's liar. This is a
it's not in
lie.
the Quran at all.
This is a lie. Anyway, obviously it's not in the Quran, but it's a lie. I'm just prefacing it that it's a lie before I explain it to you. That he's supposed to walk by, and then the old lady used to throw stones on his head, and he would just take this head stone beating, and the blood would go in his shoes and the sand, and he would say nothing. And then one day when she didn't, he went to ask about her wellness. Oh yeah, that's not the Muhammad I know. That ain't the Muhammad I know. No way, no how, no where. Muhammad was ordered to be strict over the rejectors and the hypocrites, and their abode and bad, the end for them. Yeah. So if he's told to be strict over the rejectors and the hypocrites, how could he be in any way, shape, or form nice to the one who's stoning him? I mean,
Mm,
can you imagine this nonsense? And they go by it as if this is how you're supposed to be, and that's to make you go, that's to make you be uh, cowed down
mm,
to their nonsense, whatever they say. It's simple. The reason is when you get the actual truth and you open the Quran, uh, this is not what I was taught. Where did this come from? Don't make waves. Calm down. You cannot come here and tell us that this is wrong. We've been taught by our fathers all our lives. Stay back. What the Quran says, you have to understand. Yeah, you have to understand that. Nothing else. So they keep you down, and because you have heard Muhammad was so merciful and he was so good to everyone. Yeah, I mean, he said no bad word to anyone ever. Yeah, open the book and see what he's talking and how he's talking to people. It's all in there. It
mm,
ain't no fun deal, I can tell you
mm.
that. He is vicious to
Well,
people who
ju-
stand up against him.
I remember that sign that once you talked about. I don't remember exactly, but something to the level that if it was up to me, I would have decided over.
Oh yeah, it's in chapter 6.
Yeah,
Let me find it for you. Let me find that for you. I think it's in chapter 6.
chapter 6 has been with us since even before we started the show.
Yes.
I had my class on chapter 6 before the show. Very interesting one. Not forgetting it, inshallah.
Okay, so let's see. So let me see this other one, which is at 8. Okay, so I'll give you two examples of this. But the one that you're talking about, I know, but I'll give you another view of it before I go to the actual place, the sign you're talking about. Yeah.
Hmm.
So this is in chapter 6. Man, chapter 6 just keeps giving today.
Yeah.
Huh? All right, so let me bring this up. Let me bring this. This is the one. Okay, so here, this is chapter 6, sign 7, and this is the Spirit speaking. And if we send down over you a book in pages, but to be touching it with their hands, to be saying those who reject, if this except magic clear. So they tell you bring a sign, and then if a book is sent down over you, if you send down this, we is the angels and the spirit under God, and you is the messenger. It's talking to one guy here, yeah. If
Mm.
we send down over you, you is one guy. Today it's me. Then it was Muhammad. Before it was anyone else who came as a messenger and bit to me. And if they touch it with their hands, they would say, this is magic clear. And they say, why not send down over him an angel? Huh? Now, okay, sign, no. Now,
Yeah.
why does an angel send down over him?
Yeah.
And if we send down an angel to be decided the command, then not will they be looking. And then he go on to twist it more in their bellies, yeah. And if we made him an angel to our making him a man and to our confusing over them, what they confuse. So they can send an angel. If they do, he will look like a man if they send him down. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
So, and already mocked with messengers from before you, but surrounded with those who laughed from them what they were with it. They mocking. So soon you will be surrounded with what you're mocking, the truth that I'm bringing. You will be mocked by it. I'm mocking you already, but soon you will be mocked more by the truth that is coming down. So now the place where you wanted to, uh, this is the sign you wanted, yeah? The 58 is the sign you wanted to hear about, yeah?
Hmm.
So let's go from the one before. This is all say, say, say. These are the words of Muhammad. Yeah. So let's look at what Muhammad says. And I, every messenger, surely I stop that I serve those you call from other than the God. And then say again, not I follow your thoughts. Have I strayed then, and not I from the guided. Again, command, say, surely I over clarity from my Lord, and you falsify with him, not with me what you ask, hastening with it. So when you falsify over God, you are hastening his punishment. And I'm telling you, it's not with me what you're hastening by rejecting what I'm bringing you. It ain't with me. Okay? If the command, accept to God, he explains the truth, and he better of the distinguishers. This is the word. See, God, how he brings everything in front of us. Huh?
Mm.
This is the word for explanations, distinguishing. Yeah, to distinguish, fasilin. Yeah, he is the better of the distinguishers. He will distinguish between me and you. I will be the truth, and the rest who are against me will be the lie. And then, if surely with me what you ask, hastening with it, to be decided the command between me and between you, and the God aware with the wrongdoer. So this is how the messenger speaks. Oh, he's so nice. He's so merciful. Oh, fantastic, man. The messenger is so merciful. He says nothing wrong ever. He's so nice and humble. You see any humbleness in these words from the messenger
No, I mean,
at all?
the simplest way I can understand is that if I had the power, you were all wiped out.
Exactly. If I had the command, you'd be wiped out today. I would wipe you out today. I don't have that, nor do I have the authority or the power to do that. It's God who will decide, just like Jesus told you, just like Moses and Noah and Hud and Saleh and every other messenger, that he will bring you the punishment if wishes, and not you with escaping. Believe it. And it's coming. Look at what's going on around the earth today. Yeah. Over the earth today is a mess developing, which will soon be a fireball over all these wretched, wicked rejectors, hypocrites, and falsifiers over God. And they run around in their merry ways thinking they are the sliced bread from God. Yeah. They will lose everything. They will lose everything soon. And then they will be in the fire after that. After they lose everything, then they will be destroyed, burnt, skewered here, and then put in the fire to be skewered forever, where they will never die. The truth of my Lord, which no one is going to push back. As I say in front of you this, and I stand on it with my life on the line, and I will
Absolutely.
not back down.
So there were some other mistranslated or
I think we're done. It's like an hour. Yeah? I think we can
yeah.
leave it for next week. Yeah.
Okay. Just if I could just pick up
One. Okay. Let's
one,
do one
yeah?
word.
Because with Bhabi, with your wife, you did Alameen, which
Yeah.
is like the one of the biggest
Yeah.
mistranslated word,
Absolutely.
and it means the knowing, those who know God, not
Yeah.
the
I
world's.
mean, yeah, we can look at that. Let's look at Alameen. Let's look at Alameen. Okay, so let me share this. So the first time it comes is in chapter 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
Mm,
says, the praise to God, Lord of the Alameen, the
mm,
knowing. He's Lord of the knowing, those who know. Here, the knowing, and you can try and interpret this any which way you want, but here the knowing means those who know there's only one God. They submit to Him and they serve Him. This is the knowing that is mentioned here. Because those who don't believe God is one and He is the creator, they don't serve God, obviously. They don't
Mm,
praise God. Yeah. They
mm,
serve their own souls or their masters on this earth or the Satans or the demons. That's who they serve, yeah. If you look around what's going
mm.
on, if you have knowledge like me, they serve that. So now let's just look at this word, how many times it appears in the Quran. So if they say, I mean, okay, let's bring up the nonsensical translations again. I like this.
Destroyed right there.
So here we go. First of all, let's look at with name of God, the Almighty, the Merciful. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be
Wow.
the first one.
No, they're not doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Some other day. So,
Oh,
Lord of the worlds. Okay. What are the worlds? Can you explain to me? I only know of one world in the Quran, dunya.
dunya.
I don't know of any other worlds. Okay. The dunya and the other is akhirah, which is the hereafter or the later. Yeah. So, Lord of what worlds, idiots? And somebody comes, this guy is special, huh? Maududi. He's a special Satan. He comes of entire universe. Lord of the entire. He is. What is the universe? Can you tell me that? So this is all nonsense. No, and then he's cherisher and sustainer. So if you look at these words, praise be to Allah. First of all, Alhamd is the praise. So he's figured that the does not require here, yeah, because
Mm,
he knows better than to put the here because God put it here, Alhamd, the praise. I'm not going to put it because I believe it's praised be to God, Allah as well, yeah, because you cannot put, and here the word Allah doesn't exist. It's lillahi. So if he wants to put the Arabic word, it should be praise be to lahi, lahi, because that's what it is. If you put two is this la right here, the first letter here. I'm being facetious, you know that, right? So
yeah,
this
being
first letter is
pointed,
two.
targeted.
So what's left is these two letters, yeah,
Yeah.
la ha. So it should be li. So he's not so laha lahi. So alham. So praise be to lahi. Allah is not written here. Absolutely.
Mm.
Can you see that?
No,
I
yeah,
mean, I'm not making this up. It's
yeah,
right in
right.
front of you. If you can deny what I'm saying, you should be able to deny me clearly.
No.
The word is alhamd. Hamd means praise, yeah. Al means the praise. Lillahi is to, le is to, Allahi is God, Allah. But it's God, it's not Allah written here. Yeah. To God. That's why if you look at my translation, I'm going to say to God. Because it's not to the God, it's not to Allah, it's to God,
Mm,
not to the God here. Yeah.
mm,
Rabbil Alameen. They even uh, argue about the word Lord. Yeah. They say,
mm,
no, it means something. Cherisher and sustainer is Rab. Yeah. And there's Lord, Lord, Lord. Oh, look, all of them are all Lords. Fantastic.
mm,
They're all Lord translations. They argue about the word Lord as well.
mm.
So,
So
no,
they
what does
just want to
Lord
argue
mean?
with you for the heck of arguing
Oh,
at
of course,
times.
they will go and get nowhere. If they argue with me, they're lost from the beginning. Yeah. If you ask questions of me, I'll give you answers. If you question me, I will destroy you.
Mhm,
I will destroy you, literally. And you
mhm,
will be actually destroyed later by God.
mm.
If you argue and you question me, you're going to be destroyed like those who question Moses, those who question Muhammad, those who question Jesus. Ask us questions. We will answer you with
And
the
then
will
we
of
do
God.
what is ordered to us.
But then they will not do that after that because you see what happened with Moses. Yeah, it's the same thing. And this again, Rab. So Rab is Lord. Yeah, Al Alameen. Al here again the and Alameen. Alameen comes from the word alim, ilm. Knowledge is ilm. Alim is the one who knows. Alameen is the knowing, plural. So here, of course, you can't say that is. What do you mean the knowing? It's the plural word for those who know. Yeah, the
Mm,
knowing, those who know.
mm,
So yeah, this doesn't add up. Sorry.
mm,
I'm sorry to tell you, you guys are full of it. So now, if you look at, let's search for this word and see how it comes. How many times this is written in the Quran? Alameen, and we can search exactly if you want for this word. Yeah,
mm,
let's search exactly with the same. What do you call it? Diacritics, yeah.
This
So,
is the actual search engine to search knowledge. People should go in
so
there
here,
and then just
73 times. 777 is quoted here, yeah. 73 times. So that's the first one we looked. So so he says, so if they say this is the worlds, the universe, how are the sons of Israel graced above the universes? Can you explain that
oh.
to me? Destroyed already. I mean, what can I say? After this, we just shut it up and go, okay, man, you guys are all lying sons of bitches. This cannot mean. How can they be graced above the universe or the worlds? I mean, do you think man, a whole of mankind, is greater than the creation of the heavens and the earth, or the earth and the. No way. We are
No.
less. Oh, they will say, no, we're the best of creation. Nonsense. The earth and heaven is a greater creation than us. And
Mm,
certainly the heavens and the earths are greater than our creation. So how can they be graced above the universe, which is supposedly for God knows what for them? Nonsensical garbage that tell us. There you go. Let's go another place. I mean, let's take out the nonsensical translations now, because you
mm,
know they're translating it nonsensically. It means the knowing. And if you fit it with the knowing, it will fit 99% of the time. And in some places, it will be, oh, could it mean something else? Yeah, it could. Yeah. So here, Abraham is ordered by God to submit. And Abraham says, I submit to Lord of the knowing. Oh, you're putting God in a box. How is God put in a box when I say he's Lord of the knowing? It doesn't uh, obscure from the fact that he's Lord of everything.
mm,
So when I say he's Lord of Moses, I'm putting him in a box. When I say he's Lord of Moses, it means he's not Lord of anything else after that.
mm. Denying you that is putting him in a box.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go again. And but surely the God with grace over the knowing. Yeah, the knowing. Yeah. Again, let's go over family. Okay, now this is another one. Yeah. So if
Huh.
you think Muhammad is the highest, this is where you end right here. If you think Muhammad is the highest, this is where your nonsense ends. And if you don't accept this, then go to hell. If your statement is right, that it is the universe, then Adam, Noah, family of Abraham, and family of Imran is above the knowing. Yeah, the knowing from mankind. And this knowing are the messengers and the prophets God is talking about, and the highest of believers. These are the highest. And they say, Muhammad is from the family of Abraham. So is Imran. If you add that context, then every messenger after Abraham down to Jesus, Muhammad is from Abraham's progeny. We're talking about family. Family is two steps from the womb. Your fathers and your sons. Yeah. And the sons of your sons and the father of your father. That's your family. Yeah. So the family of Abraham, obviously, his father is burning in the fire. So it doesn't even mean all of his family. It
Mm,
means Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, and Lot, who is supposed to be his nephew in the Bible. I accept that. In the Quran, there is no clear evidence of that. But if he is, he's also of the ones chosen above the knowing. Yeah.
mm,
Even of the knowing, they're higher than everyone else amongst mankind.
mm,
These people, Adam,
mm,
Noah, family of Abraham, and family of Imran. And if you don't understand which is the family of Imran, I can tell you his
mm,
daughter, her name is Mary. And Jesus is the son of Mary. These are the highest ones. Mary is higher than Muhammad, FYI, in the ranks of God. Oh, now they're going to be in knots, yeah.
mhm,
They'll have a fit here, yeah. This is the truth. So if this was the universe or the worlds, when are they above God or the angels and the spirit? No, they're not. I mean, maybe God put some of them above some angels, but nobody is above the Holy Spirit, Gabriel, other than God.
mm,
And there might be some peer angels with him. He is a Holy Spirit. There might be angels like Michael who are at his same level. Might be, I don't know.
mm,
I think he is the highest messenger of God, the Holy Spirit. Gabriel, the one who guides me, the one who's taught me all this stuff that I know. I didn't know any of this nonsense. I say nonsense with a tongue in cheek, yeah?
mm,
All this sense when I say nonsense.
mm,
Yeah, these people will not understand my language, that's for sure. Sarcasm is my way more than seriousness. Yeah, but I have to be serious with these people. So yeah, all the sense that the Holy Spirit has taught me, I only know because of what he's taught me through this book and other inspiration and examples that have happened around me. So now here, uh, the angel said to Mary, O Mary, surely the God chooses you and purifies you or cleans you and chooses you above women of the knowing. So when this is again Alameen, have we already just destroyed it? I think
Hmm.
we've destroyed it now, yeah. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no need to go any further. This is the word Alameen. How is this supposed? How is this supposed to now mean the universes? Oh, because you want to make Muhammad your God. Muhammad is the mercy to all. See, it comes from not we sent you except mercy to the universes, they say. Let's
Hmm.
bring just that one sign up, yeah?
Hmm. Which was mercy to the mankind.
No, no, not
Uh,
mercy to man. Come
uh,
on, man.
my bad.
So, here it is. Let me bring it up in Prophets. And not we sent you except mercy to the knowing. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Yeah. So now, this is the same word. So here, what are you going to put here? The worlds? He's the mercy to the universe? How is he mercy to the universe? He just came to this earth. How can he be mercy to the rest of the so called universe if they make it up like that? Nonsense.
Hmm.
To the knowing. He is mercy to the knowing. He is mercy to me. I know Muhammad. These people on the earth do not know Muhammad because they've created a false Muhammad through their hadith and their sunnah outside the Quran. And they call me out for rejecting that nonsense. And they make the Quran nonsense with the garbage they monger from those hadiths and the sunnah outside the Quran. So here you go. So now, how do you just these things? And there's like 73 places that you can look. 95%, it will be obvious to anyone who has half a brain cell that the word alameen does not mean universes. It means the knowing, those who know. Comes from the word ilm, knowledge, alim, knowing. Ya'lamoon, ta'lamoon, alimeen. I mean, it's so simple. It's all quoted in the Quran. All the meanings of key words that we were going to discuss today, and we're not going to anymore because I think we've done enough. But this word, it destroys the fundamental fabric of what God has sent us by destroying the most uh, key words and their meanings, which define so many aspects. When you mutilate that meaning, you end up destroying the total context of what the book is saying. I.e., as I said 14 years ago, they destroy the fabric of the Quran. And there's no recovery from that. Once you start rejecting and pushing back God's edicts and his words into whatever your desires are, then the end result is what you get today. The so called Muslims who are not Muslims being treated like animals. It's not because God doesn't want them to be not treated like animals. He wants them to be treated like animals and made look like retards in the world today because they follow absolute lies, absolute delusion, self delusion, and self glorying maniacs that they follow, like the ones I talked about on Friday. And there are uncountable numbers of those running around like goddamn saints on the earth, but they're goddamned animals actually on the earth. And they don't realize it because they have beauty, fame, and power, apparently, which will be taken away from them soon. And they will all burn in the fire. So I think that should be it.
When God decides to send a messenger, it's for that entire mankind that's existing.
What depends. All of them are for all of mankind. I mean, which messenger that has gone by is not for the people today? Which one?
None. They're all.
All of them, because every messenger that comes repeats what the last one brought and adds some stuff to it or gives more information, except after Moses, where everything was given to us that God wanted us to know in the Torah, the law, the knowledge and the wisdom, the book and the wisdom and the law. Everything was in there, in that book, the Torah. And then every messenger after that confirmed that and brought some extra information to tell people what they'd screwed up since Moses left or the last messenger left. And thus came Jesus, and thus came Muhammad. And they came with actual books to prove the Torah, to confirm the Torah. Every book after the Torah has come to confirm the Torah. You cannot dislodge the place of the Torah. She is at the top of these three books: Torah, Injil, and Quran. The Torah is the highest of these three books, commanded by God. She is the leader. Yeah. But unfortunately, today she is hidden from us. And unfortunately, the Injil has been mutilated beyond recognition, with a lot of truth in both of them, still, by the way,
Hmm.
that you can corroborate when you read the Quran. And the Quran, the Arabic Quran, cannot be changed, cannot be modified, and it is the absolute confirmation of the book and the wisdom and the law that came to Moses in the Torah, and it enshrines it in itself, the Quran, all this information. And nothing can escape the judgment of the Quran. Nothing at all. Nothing will escape its judgment. You can try and escape it on this earth for as long as you feel like it. But in the end, you will be caught, you will be dragged over your faces, you will be burnt in the fire, and you will cry forever. That is the reality. Try it and wait. I too am waiting. And I know what's going to happen to all of you who stand against the Quran today. And the first of those are the idiots, the morons, the mentally retarded and challenged people who call themselves Muslims.
There were many words like Hadith, Khatim, Rasul, Nabi,
Mhm.
Akhira, Ar Rahman, Deen, Qiyama, which have been like absolutely destroyed until God sent you and you clarified to at least us. You've been clarifying it to the whole mankind, but this is like clear that when people like all of us, don't want to talk to you and run away from you, then somebody sends me some things and then it's turned out to be wrong, but I wanted to bring this today because this is the so-called Muslim that you're talking about. A lot of them are still stuck in this one that I just
The
uh
Alameen.
yeah, Alameen, Hadith, the biggest problem, Khatim. They think it's the Urdu Khatim.
Yeah. I mean, look in the Quran, you will find the word khatim and what it means. It's obvious what it means. It means seal. It means nothing more than seal or stamp. It doesn't mean last or final or end.
Hmm. What is the meaning of Qiyama in the book?
To stand. Qiyama is to stand. Qiyam, to
Hmm.
be firm. Mustaqim, be constant. Comes from the same qiyam. Qiyamah, Yawm al Qiyamah, day of the standing. We will stand that day. All of
Hmm.
us, all demons and all men will stand to God that day. No exception.
And then they talk about madhab, which we should be talking about deen actually, which is the faith, right?
Yeah, I don't know who says mazhab. It's the subcontinent, because in Arabic they still call it deen, which they translate as religion, right?
Yeah.
In Urdu, I've heard mazhab, but not in Arabic. In the Arabic, they say deen, and they've made deen into translated as religion,
Okay.
which is the nonsense. Deen fundamentally means way. It's your way, which may be construed as your religion, but they've used religion as a four-letter word. Religious, he's religious. It just means he has a way, you fool. Don't you? You
Hmm.
moron. I'm not saying you, generally you,
Hmm.
third person you. Don't you have your way that you are? That's your damn religion, you fool.
Hmm.
I mean, these people are lost, lost beyond help, because the words don't mean anything without context and without emotion. The words mean nothing, not a thing. They say don't get emotional. I say
Mhm.
you're lost without emotion.
Wow, man, that's beautiful. But and then lastly, the another dichotomy they've created with the word ar-Rahman. And
Mhm.
like what you were saying the other day, they've taken out the concept of almightiness
Yep.
from their translation.
Because they want him to be entirely forgiving and especially especially graceful and super duper nothing. He's a little cowering thing in the corner, afraid of making us angry. Yeah, God. That's how these so-called Muslims, so-called because they're wretched, wicked, lying sons of bitches. Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
Literally all of them, not all of them. And I say all of them, it doesn't mean all of them because there's some good ones out there who have rejected the teachings, but they can't find the truth. Because
Mm,
the truth comes to one man in every generation. That's me. It doesn't come to 100 men. It comes to one man. And certainly not 8 billion of them. That's for sure. I mean, the maximum I've counted is like maybe 15 men at a time that have this truth as messengers of God, and the few that follow him or them after that. But they're not messengers, they don't have the truth. The example of the sons of Israel. They obeyed to a level they believed, and then they went serving the calf when Moses went to God for 40 nights. They started serving the calf after all the signs were shown to them from the time they ran from Moses and before, and the parting of the sea and all that stuff. They start serving the calf. So it's the messenger that is key in every people. You must hold on to the messenger of God when he's amongst you. You cannot turn away from his command. He's not here to screw you over, although you will all think that he is. You will think the messenger is to screw you over because what? He's telling you to not follow your desires. And that's the reason why you cannot follow the messenger. Because you don't want to stop following your desires. So you can't follow the messenger because he's telling you to stop following your desires. Yeah? Understand that fact.
mm,
Understand that fact. That is a reality. So they've destroyed the word Almighty in from the Quran. There's not one word in any translation. Well, there might be a few. I've seen some which have that word, but most of them have destroyed the fundamental meaning of the word Ar-Rahman, and it starts from Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Yeah, it's Ar-Rahman is the Almighty, and Ar-Rahim is the merciful. There's no super merciful or specially. It's just merciful. It doesn't say any superlative there, although the word almighty is intrinsically superlative. You get it? So
mm,
the second word is not a unstoppable word.
mm,
The first word, which is Ar-Rahman, is an unstoppable word with name of the God, the Almighty, the Merciful. So when you understand the word Almighty, which is self-explanatory, right? I mean, you can't get out of the word Almighty, the one who has all might, period. So when you accept the one with all might, then who else are you going to fear after that? No one. Then you fear what he tells you to fear in his books, and you fear what his messenger comes and tells you to fear because he's coming from him.
mm,
He ain't coming because of his own thoughts. Like, I don't follow your thoughts, and I don't follow my thoughts
mm.
either. And then, so what are you, man? Well, figure it out. Who I
You
am
follow
and
the
what I am then.
you follow
Yeah,
the
figure it out. I don't follow my thoughts.
yeah,
And I certainly don't follow any of your thoughts. None of you, not even the believers.
yeah.
I will not follow your thoughts. I will listen to you. And then I will align the nonsense you say with the sense of the book. And if it aligns perfectly, then I will accept it as sense. Otherwise, it will continue to be thought as nonsense that you utter to me. And I will not follow my thoughts equally. I will align them with the book. And if they don't align, I will consider as nonsense, my own thoughts. That's how I work. And so if you think that is too difficult and unbelievable, it's because you are incapable of getting to this level where I stand. And thus it's impossible for you. Just like all the stuff that I have done with the will of God and the power He bestowed upon me is unfathomable for most of mankind. I mean, how can you translate the Quran in 12 days? Well, God will show you. Of course, I had help because I'd already translated it once or twice. So 12 days was very easy for me. And it was all written. So I only had to translate it in my head and
Hmm.
change things. So obviously it's going to be faster, But the first time I did it, it was within 40 days. Yeah. I mean, when I seriously started, it took 30 days. I was practicing initially. Yeah, I translated the Quran in 30 days. Ha ha ha. They laugh at me. Really? Yeah, God will show you. I mean, the whole process probably took 40 days because I was testing the first 20 pages whether my translation actually is merited or not because I didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to get into this.
Accept. Is not that a miracle of God right in front of us? Is not this majestic reading
Obviously,
the
it's a
the
sign.
the boat that we need to get on?
No doubt about it, but you can't understand it. I mean, how long did it take for you guys to understand how it's written?
Man, it's been 12 years and we're still struggling.
No, no, but like the way it's written, not that you're not. I'm not talking about the understanding of the Quran. I'm talking about how it's written. How long did it take for you to start understanding how it's written? Like getting information because it's not written like a normal
Yeah,
English.
it took a long, long time.
Yeah, so you have to try. It's just like the Arabic. I mean, ask the Arabs how much they understand the Quran. Yeah. I mean, they
I
don't understand the Arabic of the Quran, let alone the Quran. Yeah, they cannot because the language has been supplanted by an Arabic which has nothing to do or little to do in many ways to the actual Arabic of the Quran. The words' meanings have been changed, and just like our example in our lives, just the last 30 years, how many words of the English language have now been made into words that have nothing to do with the meaning 30 years ago in front of us. Our eyes, we've seen it. So you think that 1400 years, so called, that have passed, and the Arabic language is exactly what was written in the Quran, just like the Hebrew. Same thing with the Torah. So this is how man just is lost and he has to go back to his emotions and align with God and see the truth that is in these books. You have to align with God and be yourself, your own emotion, whatever you are, and control those emotions in front of God. Show Him that you're going to control your emotions in front of Him to align with Him in your heart. The soul has to turn to the heart, yeah? Then God will turn to you, maybe, if you do well enough. So there you go. I mean, they've destroyed it. Almighty. He is the Almighty. He will never be less than the Almighty. He's the merciful, but he will stop being merciful. His mercy touches all things, encompasses all things, not forever. His almightiness is over all things forever. No one touches his power, no one touches his control, no one touches his encompassing everything and everyone with all power that you can imagine and not. You cannot imagine. Every creature is grabbed by their foreheads by the Almighty. Every creature, no exception. You are puppets. We are puppets on a leash. We have no freedom other than the freedom God gives us. Thus, we are all slaves. No one is free except the God. This is the reality you must understand. To be the subjugated, submissive entity you need to be in front of God and then His message and messengers. You don't understand that. He sends His messengers for you to submit to the command of the messenger. And there's one of us, and there's myriad of you who think you have power over us because we have no wealth and power and no fame here on this earth, and that you think you can destroy us or kill us. Pharaoh did that with Moses quite well, I think. Yeah. How did that end? Yeah. He
destruction
had
of
all the
temple.
power. I mean, obviously, that's rhetorical. He had all the power. He boasted that he's going to kill Moses. Pharaoh himself boasted that he's going to kill Moses. And you can boast that you're going to make me a liar or make me out to be a falsifier. But you will end up being the falsifier and liar. Most of you have tried it. and failed miserably every time, trying to make me the falsifier. It turns back and bites you in the ass every time. All of you, not you, just everyone who's tried it. And they run away then. Then they run away. When the shit hits the fan, they run away, scurrying away like little monsters, running from the bigger monster, yeah, which is the truth. You can't run from the truth, by. I mean, you can try and hide, you can try and run, you can try and
He's
escape, but
running from a lion.
huh? Yeah, donkeys running from lions. Yeah, it's weird that my name is Lion. Yeah, in Arabic,
Yeah,
and the
that's
donkeys
exactly.
are running from the lion.
Yeah, and then and I'm one of those donkeys too. So I know when I see fellow donkeys, I can understand what's going on. But I remind myself and everyone else that there is no escape. You cannot. You can try to resist God and His messengers, but then see what will happen to you.
Yeah, I mean, just resisting God is enough. Which is obviously, if you resist the messenger's command, you're resisting God. We're not here because we want to be this. We have to be this because He's chosen us to be this. If we stop being this, then we're going to fall into the fire, as the example of Jonah goes. Yeah, he ran away. He had enough of delivering God's message, and God's like, "What's wrong with him? What? He doesn't think we're looking at him. He thinks we have no power or control over him. What? He's getting in the ships. What? What? He think he's gonna get away?" It's like, all right, fish, go get him. Fish comes, eats up Jonah, my brother. He's my brother as well. Eats up Jonah, and then Jonah realizes, oh fuck. And then he turns and cries to his Lord, and he begs forgiveness. And eventually God relents because he sees that he's actually, yeah, he's accepted that he's a cock up. So now we're going to send him back, and 100,000 people or more are going to believe. So they sent him back. The fish spewed him out of his mouth onto the shore, where stuff grew on him to make him better from the sickness that he'd had. I mean, God knows how much time he spent in that fish. Can you imagine one day? I can imagine 2 hours in the fish. I mean, how much time did he spend in the fish? And they think it's a joke. I'm making it like a joking story, but this is the reality. I mean, I can tell, like, what? He thinks we can't see him? Does he think he's just running away and we don't see him? And then they send him back. He accepted. He accepted his turning. He said, "No God except you." Yeah, he told God, "No God except you. Surely I was from the wrongdoers." Yeah, that's what we all got to do. I mean, that's the messenger of God. You think you people are better than him? They denigrate Moses and Jonah. All these so-called Muslims, yeah, and they make Muhammad God. Muhammad had his screw ups. Obviously, it's all in the Quran. You can read the all, not all. It's all in the Quran that he screwed up. Yeah. And do you think they're the only screw ups he had? The ones written in the Quran? Not a chance. He
Mhm.
had problems and he had make mistakes. In chapter 48, it says that he will forgive to you the crimes that you have sent forth and the ones you delay. So you think he's perfect? That's why he's being told by God that his crimes of the past will be forgiven and the future because he's perfect, right? That's why he's telling them. What a bunch of nonsense. I mean, Muhammad, I have love for every man, including Jonah, who screwed up. He taught me not to be like that, that I
Mhm.
cannot run from God's command, that I have to deliver this message. And if I don't deliver this message, I'm going to be screwed. That's the burden on me. So there's no escape for anyone. Like I told you earlier, we're all slaves. There's no escaping. We're all slaves to the Lord God of all creation, the one and only, the absolute and the infinite. Yeah, for us. I mean, do you think he's infinite for himself? I don't know. I mean, he must know himself.
What a question, man.
I mean,
Absolutely. We are, yeah.
for us,
Yeah,
he's infinite, but he knows himself.
yeah, man.
What a bunch of losers, huh? Bunch of losers we are, all of us. We can't ask the simple question and give the simple answer. We just need to complicate things to a level where it's all freaking mumbo jumbo and nobody understands. So, yeah. And then he went and 125,000 believed as by the Bible. The Bible says 125,000 people believed with Jonah once he returned, where the Quran says he believed 100,000 or more. So I believe the Bible has the exact number,
Hmm.
125,000 believed. And those guys were not punished when they turned back into wretchedness, as every believing nation does after the messenger comes. And they believe, and then they turn back to wretchedness and wickedness, and God punishes them. They were spared the punishment. The only people that a messenger came to that I have knowledge of that were spared the punishment for their rejection in the life of the world. No other generation was spared the punishment in the life of the world. The hereafter is guaranteed for them as well. Whoever rejected after Jonah came, the rest, those guys will also burn in the fire. But here they were spared the punishment. I don't intend to screw up. So beware. The punishment is coming to you all. My intention is not to screw up in any way, shape, or form to prevent the punishment coming to you all. Man, that's pretty nasty, huh? You think?
It's the truth, man.
But it's nasty. It may be the
Well,
truth, but it's a nasty
well,
truth.
well, the truth can change our lives, but first it will piss us off.
Yeah, I mean, if the truth is against what you believe to be the truth, it can't be the truth.
Say that one more time, Asad bhai.
If the truth is against the truth you believe is the truth, then it can't be the truth.
That means I'm wrong.
What do you mean?
If someone comes to me with the actual truth, and I will stick to the truth that I believe is the truth, and it's not the truth, then I'm wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but you will not believe the truth is the thing.
Then I'm
When
destroyed.
I come to you with the truth and it is against the truth that you believe, then you cannot believe that I've come to you with the truth. It's simple. It
Then I'm
applies to me as well. If you say you come with the truth and it's against the truth I believe, then I will not accept the truth you have, even if it's a lie that you bring to me. Same applies to me. When I come and tell you it's the truth and it's actually a lie, but it's against the truth that you believe,
hmm.
then you will not believe the truth that I bring, which is a lie, actually. And if you are also in the lie, and I'm also in the lie, and I say I'm bringing the truth, and what you believe is against what I believe as your truth, which is also a lie, you will not believe my lie either. It's as simple as that. Yeah, it's a bit deep. You got to uncover those layers of your heart and soul which are
Hmm.
completely destroyed to understand what I'm saying. That's why nobody's going to believe that I'm bringing the truth, because they don't know what I'm bringing is the truth, because they don't accept the Quran is the truth, and they can't figure out what the Quran is saying, and they can't figure out what I'm saying about the Quran from the Quran either. They are blinded
Hmm.
to the truth. So, am I bringing the truth or not? Only I know that. Only I know I have the truth. And do I know if it's the truth or not? Ah, there we go. Ha ha ha. There you
So,
go.
but when we corroborate what you're saying with the book that has not been changed,
Again, again, they don't. Again, I already said that. They don't know what the Quran is saying. They cannot understand what the Quran is saying. And they can't understand what I'm saying from the Quran because they don't understand what the Quran is saying and what the Quran is. The rest don't even accept the Quran is the truth from God. How are you going to make them believe? You tell me. So you
no.
all your 13 years you've been, oh, I've been telling you nobody's going to believe. I am the one who knows that I know this Quran intrinsically. Absolutely. Even you can't prove it. You can't prove all the things I know from the Quran. You can't, because you don't understand all the things I know from the Quran. How can you prove it if you don't understand the things I know from the Quran?
Yeah.
You know the things you understand, and you, oh yeah, that's what he's saying. And slowly, after all your strivings and struggles and fallings, you have verified most of the statements that I told you are exactly what the Quran is saying when you understand them for yourself by reading it in the context that I have taught you to read it, and you've accepted that context, that it is not God speaking to us in this Quran, it is the Holy Spirit Gabriel talking to us and delivering the message of God to the messenger. Fundamentally, the Holy Spirit, who is the highest messenger of God, is delivering the message of God to the messenger, which is me today and was Muhammad before, and before they were the others: Jesus, Moses, Abraham, and all the others, and Noah. Yeah? So he is the one who's bringing, and he's telling me this. So when you put it in that perspective and you understand why I'm telling you what I'm telling you, that
Hmm.
I'm this guy who's being taught and he's supposed to say all of this, and then you look at me, what I've been saying for 15 years, and you, oh, damn, he's been saying exactly this. Why didn't I see this before? And you will slowly see that until you say, okay, I submit, man. This guy is the messenger of God. I don't screw with him. And the day you stop screwing with me, before that, you have to stop screwing with God. Obviously, yeah, I'm later. I'm not as important as God in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, but He's made me important for you guys because He's chosen me to guide you guys, to be the guide for all those who want to turn to God. No one is going to turn to me unless God does not accept their turning to Him.
Hmm.
You're not turning to me. You're turning to God. I'm the guide here for you if you turn to God, because you will not get that knowledge by yourself. You're no messenger, no prophet. It's the messenger who's chosen to guide the people. And he's the most hated person on earth because he's a joy killer. Yeah. He's a killjoy. He's stopping all fun on the earth. Yeah. All the fun they're having, wrongly, obviously. Yeah. And all their positions of power and authority that they've taken upon themselves, as they, in some righteousness, are liable or able or capable or deserving to have that authority or power. Damn. See? So when we come, we dethrone all kings, we dethrone all rich people and all those of authority with our words. We don't have to do anything. We just say it, and they are that. They can continue doing what they are, but in the end, they will know who they are. Dethroned and put in the fire, just like Pharaoh. They were not enthroned, they were destroyed. And the Lord God Almighty, He will send His forces to destroy them. And it's in preparation. The fortifications of mankind are being, uh, how should I say it,
Destroyed.
weakened. They will be destroyed. They're being weakened and softened up. Ah, the word is they're being softened up. Their defenses, it don't even matter. I mean, do you think if mankind develops a shield around the earth, yeah, a force field, it's going to stop God from squishing them at one command?
Nothing can stop God.
There you go. So that's how it's going to come. Anyway, I think we should end it, huh? You said 1 hour. It's been 1 hour and 45 minutes here, guy.
Yeah, but I just couldn't stop myself, even
Yeah.
though,
You were the one who wanted to stop
yeah, even though I wanted to stop. But
at 1 hour. I mean,
I
I
re-
brought it up, but it's because you wanted to stop at 1 hour and I discussed we should stop. And you said, yes, I can't go on. And
yeah,
then we said, okay. And then I responded and I said, yes, at 1 hour. And it's 1 hour, 45 minutes. And we're still there.
yeah. So I, because my back and my leg and I couldn't
Mhm.
sit. But the thing is that it's the power of God when it starts to unfold. The words, they become unstoppable. I also remember that none of us had any idea, and all these so-called Muslims, if they think they have this idea what I'm about to say, then they're bullshitting themselves. Which is that all of us stupid idiots all our lives, we've been reading the prayer in Arabic using the kul. We've been saying to God, say, say, my Lord, you say. And none of us understood that it was a command to the messenger, because all of us were thinking we are the messengers or something, you know?
Mm.
Like, remember that guy at that time? My faith was so weak that I couldn't even say in front of you to that guy that this guy is a messenger of God. And I said that this guy is a man of God.
Hmm.
Or at that time, you had not said it, I think. Or
Yeah,
maybe I was.
I was struggling as well. I accepted in 2013 and totally, absolutely accepted in 2014. After that, I've never doubted it. I mean, obviously, there's always a doubt. Yeah, I mean, but I haven't doubted it in
Yeah.
any significant form.
And then you told us that, you fool, this is for the messenger to say. Why are you
Mm.
repeating it in your prayer? And what a
No,
prayer.
no, but some of the stuff you are supposed to repeat as per the messenger statement. This is also nonsense. Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the words that the messenger says are for you to repeat. Where he's been said, say, it applies to the believers as well. And
No, but
some places it doesn't apply to the believers. It only applies to the messenger. You have to figure it out. If you're a believer, you will know that, okay, this is not for me.
yeah.
Just like some places I know, this is Gabriel saying, I can't say this. Yeah. I
But
can't be saying this.
what about the kul? Do we have to use the kul in the?
No, obviously not.
Yeah.
You say the statement after the word "qul" or say, the command to say something. You say the
So
statement.
when it says kul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, so
Hmm.
we start a'udhu bi rabbin
Yeah,
nas.
that's what you don't say "kul."
Yeah.
Absolutely. When you're talking to God, because you're talking to God, you're
Mm.
asking Him, you're seeking refuge with God, or the Lord of the daybreak, or the Lord of the mankind. So it's like people don't understand how what power this book is full of spells, real spells, magic spells as they call them. They have their Ouija boards and their crystal balls and their hexes and vexes and potions. This book destroys all of that. I've been using these on them for 15 years now. And man, I've been watching the effects of them on people and as a whole, the nations of the earth today. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the curses that I have invoked on these people are coming to fruition now with the will of God. I can't do it. I don't have the magic. I just have the words that I'm supposed to use to then have God bring it on them. And that's what He's doing now. How slowly it will occur, how suddenly it will occur, I don't know. But when it occurs, it will be sudden. It won't be a slow process when it comes, the command. It will be sudden. So all this is a meandering towards that command of God. And you never know when He will say be, but it will be. The day He says be, it will be. Until that time, you will see all these signs unfold in front of you, all the nonsensical destruction. And I say nonsensical because it's nonsensical to the people who see it, right? For me,
Mm.
it's completely sensical, the
They call it
destruction
climate
that's,
change.
huh?
They call it climate change.
Whatever they want to call it. I mean, it's not just climate change, whatever they're doing, whatever hurricane, it's all nonsensical to them. Tsunami, you know, volcano erupting. All this is nonsensical to them. Oh, it's just natural. It's nature. This is how nature is. Okay, okay then. Continue. Yeah, keep seeing these natural things come to you until that day when God says be. He says kun fayakun, but it will be. So keep waiting. I too am waiting, as I'm told to tell you. So be waiting. Surely I with you from the waiting. And I'll keep telling you until you can snuff me out with the will of God. Because without the will of God, you won't get to me. And when God wills it, that know that it's the end of you. When God wills you people to come and snuff me out, know it, it's the end of you. All of you. Not just one, all on the earth. Everyone will be destroyed after that. There will be no exception. There will be no survivors. They will all be massacred. And they'll put in the fire. And I will not even be there. I'll watch from the other side as God destroys them. When I see some of these statements where He turned from them and He said, "Oh, my people are turned from you." They're probably taken away. God's taken them away from the unseen, and He's talking from them from the unseen.
Mm.
I warned you. I was sincere to you, but you don't love the sincere. He's probably seeing it from the other side. Yeah, the messenger. I don't know. I just think of it sometimes. I don't know whether this is the truth or not in the sequence of those statements. Yeah. Anyway, okay. I think we should end it now. Yeah,
All
by
right.
force. All right. Till the next time we come out.
Inshallah. Salam.
Salam.